What is going on, guys? I am happy to bring you back to another Deal of the Week video where I'm going to be discussing what my team and I are doing specifically for our clients in the deals that these people are finding for the next real estate investment property. Now, if you're new here, my name is Ricardo Carrillo. I run a nationwide mortgage lending team called RC Lending. We specialize in working with first-time home buyers and first-time investors to help them scale their real estate portfolio through creative financing structures. Now, oftentimes this means that I am looking at people's tax returns. I'm kind of going into like a full deep dive with my clients. Really, we're doing a full financial profile review when we're trying to figure out what can they qualify to purchase in the US. Now, my team and I cover the entire US for financing, and something that I like to do is I like to take you guys through real life scenarios of what my clients are experiencing on the day-to-day in this market. It's been a crazy market of what's happening with real estate across the entire US, and I get a really good bird's eye view on what's happening in a lot of these different places. I get to see behind the scenes of what my clients are doing with their real estate investment deals. So I really want to, honestly, I just want to jump right in for us to just talk about this specific property. So this client is a former Olympian who is purchasing a short-term rental, and they're buying a short-term rental. They want a property that's going to be able to generate more cash flow, more returns, have better cash on cash return numbers, and ultimately just be a better deal for them in the long term. They're going to have good equity based on the location where they're purchasing, overall better financing. Now, the reason I want to talk about this specific scenario is because this is a client who is sitting on a lot of cash, but doesn't necessarily have the qualifying ability in order to still scale their real estate portfolio. So this goes for all of my clients or all of my people watching who are self-employed individuals. You have a lot of funds sitting on the sidelines, but maybe you don't have the income on paper in order to be able to sustain this kind of payment. There are financing solutions for you. You just won't get them at some of the bigger name banks. You'd have to come to somebody like myself in order to be able to fund a deal like this. Now, let's jump right into the specifics. So this is a pretty cool property. This one specifically is in Oregon. So it's cool to see that people are buying properties on the West Coast. A lot of the times my clients are buying investment properties on the East Coast, mainly because they just perform better than the properties that we see on the West Coast. But this specific deal, we're in at 499. They have a $100,000 down payment. And the loan program that we're going to be utilizing is something called a asset depletion loan. Now, down payment is 20%. And the reason why we're using this program called asset depletion is for what I mentioned at the beginning. These clients are sitting on a lot of capital, but they don't have the ability to qualify conventionally. This is something that a lot of people just don't even know exists. But some banks have these loans programs that are going to allow you to qualify by just saying, do you have enough money to pay yourself for the next 5 years? And so like this specific client, they're sitting on multiple millions of dollars. I'm just going to be, for conservative estimates, I'm going to use a crazy number like $10 million. Let's say that they were sitting on $10 million. We would take this number and we would divide it by 60 months for at least this specific loan program. So we have 166K, which is crazy, per month. So now the way that the bank is looking at their qualifying ability is as if they were making $166,000 a month. Just so you guys have an understanding, when we're looking at qualifications, one of the easiest numbers to do is a quick, like a back of the napkin calculation. I would take this 166K and I would divide it by 2. And the number that I would get here is essentially how much monthly payment debt they can take on. So this client could actually take on $83,000 a month in terms of a new mortgage payment. Newsflash, but that could pretty much buy you any kind of real estate that you want to buy. So, they don't have any issues with qualifying whatsoever. It's just a different loan program that most people wouldn't be used to. So it allows for us to get financing on a situation like this. Next couple things I want to take you guys through is just like the calculation. So rate we ended up landing at was a 7.125%. And this is what? 8th. We're on the 8th of April. So just so you guys know where we're at with the market, like 7.125 was great for this kind of loan program. Closing costs ended up around 20K. But the piece that's important here is we actually negotiated 15K in closing cost credits. So one thing you guys have heard me talk about, if you watched my other videos on deals of the week, something that I really love to do is I love to get our clients to negotiate money in for seller credits. Now, seller credits are basically where we get the seller to agree to pay for a large portion of your closing costs. In this situation, we negotiated 15K. So closing cost credits are going to go towards all the closing costs, meaning in total, they're only at 5K, right? Like it's not even that much, 5K here. They're at 5K of what they're actually going to be spending for closing costs plus the down payment. So all in, they're going to be coming in at 105. Like that's total out of pocket on this $500,000 property. And the total monthly payment is coming out to around $3,400 a month. Now, projections, they're estimating that they're going to make probably double that at a minimum, $7,000 a month on this property. And it's more than going to cover the monthly payment. They really are going to spend a lot of focus on the design and the amenities for this specific place. But the uniqueness of what I really want to focus on for this specific deal are two things. One, we're qualifying with a much lower down payment than if we used a different loan program. Other loan programs where they're not looking at someone's money in their bank account would require these people to come in with larger down payments, like 25, maybe even 30% down. Because we're doing this type of loan program, it gives them the ability to be at a lower down payment. In this situation, they wanted to be at 20% down. We were able to get them in at 20% down. The property is still going to cash flow. They're still getting a lower interest rate. And they negotiated a lot of that money in seller credits, which is only going to save them the money out of pocket to go reinvest for future deals, to go reinvest in the amenities, to go reinvest in the design and the repairs and the furniture and everything else that they're going to do with this cool property. So this is what I really preach when it comes to a market like the one that we're in right now, why it's so important to be utilizing your resources and make sure that we're strategizing on the best possible offer that's going to get you guys the absolute best terms. So you need to be communicating with your loan officer. You need to be communicating with your realtor. We have to talk about what's the best way to position this for a long-term play. A lot of people are always just focused on looking at getting the specific interest rate or getting the best interest rate, but they're not focused on where could I be saving more money for the loan program or for the long-term or negotiating a better deal. And that's really what we specialize in. That's how my team and I are able to get these kinds of deals across the finish line, saving our clients as much money as possible throughout the entire process. So I hope you guys found this to be helpful. I'm going to continue to do a deal of the week video for you guys. Every single week, I'm going to walk you through real life scenarios of what we're doing with our clients day in and day out across the entire US. And if you guys are in need of financing or you need help with anything real estate related, feel free to reach out to my team. We'd be more than happy to help you guys out. If you guys didn't watch my last video, you could watch the most recent one here or the deal review video that we did right here where I kind of go into the specifics of another kind of creative scenario that we've gotten through the finish line. But yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Like I said, we're going to be posting 2 videos a week now. So we're going to do the one deal of the week video with you guys. I'm going to do one vlog. I'm going to keep putting out content so you guys can continue to see what my team and I are doing literally all day, every day. Eating, breathing, sleeping, and doing everything real estate related. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all gon' chop a brick like judo, snatch a Lamborghini. I got a different bitch for different places.